I'd like to share another feature that I find very useful when I am moving files around and the like. I have set up several shortcuts over here, and let me just move them into a little different section here so that I can show you maybe a little bit easier what I'm doing. You know, when you go down here to the bottom of your screen and you click on folders, it takes you to kind of the generic start of where you can go find stuff. And then if you wanted to go look in your court reporting folder, you might have to go to the computer and then maybe program files, etc., etc. And you just have to go down the list of a whole lot of different paths to get there. In my case, it's under documents and then Eclipse, etc., etc. But what I want to show you is there's a quick way to get there without having to go through all the Windows Explorer. And you see here I've got one called My Scans. I double click right there and it takes me right to My Scans. And the way I did that was one day I sat here and I had to either click down here on the Windows Explorer, go to Documents, and then find My Scans, and I got it there. Or the other way to do it would be you can go into your screen and right click, click on New, click on Shortcut, Browse, and pretty much do the same thing. Local disk, etc., etc. That's kind of confusing. What I like to do is, if I'm in a folder that I like, I just remember to get the path right there. So all I have to do is put my mouse in this window here. It turns it to blue. I can either right click on it and copy, or I can do the Control-C command. Then I've got that path saved, so if I want to do it this way, I can do New. I right click there, I do New, Shortcut. Then all I have to do is paste. Click on Next, and it gives me the name of it. Of course, you can see here I've already got My Scans, but I'll go ahead and make My Scans 2. So I can double click there and it takes me right to My Scans, just like this first one did. Double click and right there to My Scans. Now I'm going to get rid of this one since I already have it on the screen. Another folder that's really nice to be able to get to is the SendTo folder. I'm going to double click there, and the path to find the SendTo folder can be difficult, and what I would suggest you do is go into your search and search for SendTo, and then let Windows give you a quick link to it, because it's difficult to find. And if you look here, I've clicked up here and you can see the path just goes on and on and on. So search for your SendTo folder. It could be different depending on if you have XP, Windows 7, I have Windows 8, and my path is rather long. But what's nice about that SendTo folder, once you get there, is you'll notice I've got a couple of shortcuts here to a couple of places that I find very useful. And why this comes in very handy is when I am in my court reporting directory and I have finished a job for the day. For instance, I did some stuff today, and I'll go down here and find them for the 18th. I have a couple of files in there, and I may want to save them somewhere. And one particular place that I like to save them to is my online Office drive. So I can pick one or multiple files there and click on Send To, and you see that my online drive has dropped in there. The only way to get that to show up right there was at some point I had to go into my SendTo folder and put that path in there. A quick way to do that is if you find a folder that you like that you may think you want to send files to or download to or whatever, go to that file like I'm going to do right now. I'm going to double click on my drive, which is my M drive, that goes straight to my folder on my online drive. I can click there and save that path. Then I can go back over here to my SendTo folder and I can right click, I can do new, and I can make a shortcut in there the same way I could if I was on the home page. So if you don't have the path, or you can't remember it, or you just want to browse around and put stuff in there at your leisure, you can click on browse and start finding things that you may want to put in to the SendTo folder for ease of use and ease of manipulating files. It's very handy. It's a very useful little trick to be able to move files quickly, because otherwise, if I wanted to save something over here, I might have to right click on something, click copy, then go to my documents, maybe find another place to put it, or go to my C drive, go find a long path, and on, and then paste. Whereas if you will find things that you know you're going to move stuff into quickly, put them into the SendTo folder here, put those shortcuts in there. That way when you're in a folder and you need to manipulate files quickly, or you want to move stuff around, all you have to do is find the file that you like, right click on it, or find the multiple files, right click on those, click Send To, and then you'll see that the path will drop down just like I'm going to show you here. I'm in my court reporting files, find the files for today, the 2013, excuse me, and here's one here. I can right click on it, Send To. If I choose that option, it will push that file over to my M drive. If it sees it's already there, I can replace it, and it will manipulate the file and move it over into that folder on my online drive. For that matter, I could be in my online drive and I could find a file that I like. I can right click, I can send it back to my directory where my court reporting files are. So you could, for instance, have a lot of files you've moved over from your court reporting to your online drive, or even onto your external drive. If you had plugged one in, it would drop in down here automatically without you having to put a path in there, and you could send it down there. Conversely, you can open up that online, or that, excuse me, you can open up the external drive and grab files from there, right click on them, and send them back to where your court reporting directory is. So I hope I've explained in a fairly easy way how to use the SendTo option and to be able to manipulate files within your computer, and to be able to send files around and move them quickly. Hope that helps. Thanks.